I really do think that Arisa is an absolute steal of a level down here. I mean, we're currently sat at around 2.2 cents. What we'll do in this video is have a look at some levels that we could use as an investment or an entry point, and then we'll have a look at some take profit regions and have a look at some of the high levels that we could go. We will also identify some lower levels, but personally I think now it's just a solid time to invest. If you are new to this channel, then please make sure that you are subscribed, hit that like button, and let's crack on. So hello, welcome to Operation Crypto. As ever, we will start off by just checking out some price analysis on Bitcoin, and then we'll look at Arisa, both the USDT and the BTC pairings. There's one line I'm missing from this chart, which is a middle range. I don't know where it's gone, but tell you what, we'll put it back on. So we'll just pull that down. What is around 35k, I believe. There it is. If you look at that wick there, that's when we rejected off it, and you can see it all the way through. We've acted as support and resistance all the way through. So that is a key level for me, and just thought I'd put that back on. So I did put a tweet out yesterday looking at this entire move, and I was looking for the 61% retracement, which we've got so far. We done that major impulse move up. We've come down, we've tested this area now probably, I mean, you could say with 4 weeks within that region. What I'm looking for now is a bounce up towards this 38k region. We have to be wary though, it is Friday and it is a weekend, so I mean things could turn nasty pretty quick, and we could always come back down and test this 28,800 level. Just be aware that we've had no closures on the 4 hour below 30k, and if you're looking on a weekly, this shows it a bit more bullish, to be honest. We've had no closures, well, previous to this weekly candle, we had no closures below 34k. Still, we could push back up and close above that region this Sunday, but that weekly candle is looking very, very bearish, to be honest, and there's a possibility that we could get dragged back down to 28,800. So on the high time frames, it is looking nasty. We have done this 61% retracing on the 4 hours, so let's see if we can push up here, because it is seeming like we're creating a base here to potentially push up, or we'll get some bears up here and send us back down to that region. But all in all, slightly optimistic, but you know it's weekend coming up, so let's see what goes on. Right, so Arisa, we'll start with USDT pair first, and we'll start on the weekly time frame, which is going to look absolutely horrific, unfortunately, but that's the way it is currently. We had some highs, and then that's the all-time high up there at 11.8 cents. So that's the all-time highs. This is the Huobi chart. I'm only using this because it does seem to have more data. My chair's all over the place. 2 seconds. There we go. So yeah, we've had a major impulse move up, and then a nasty retrace down, to be honest. If you look at that in terms of a price drop, hold on tight, 84%, and we're close to that bottom now, which is nasty. I've got this red level marked up here. As you can see, we used this as support before that major move up, and it has confluence. We've rejected off it a few times, used it to as rejection here. So that for me, if we did drop any lower, would be the bottom. So that's 0.014 cents. So if you're looking for some orders, place some down there. You might get lucky and pick some up down in those regions. I've put some orders down there just in case we get a nasty wick to a downside, because in reality, dropping to the daily, how far off is that line from current prices? 31% drop, and you know shit can move quick in crypto, so have some orders down there and see what happens in terms of that. And looking at the RSI on the daily, it's low, so looking at the 4 hour where I'm going to do most of the TA, let's have a look at his latest move here. So we'll have that as a bottom of the move and that as a top of the move. So in terms of Fibonacci levels, I don't go too in depth into trading me, I just look at levels. So what you will see here is that we've lost this 618 level. So if you're looking for buys, personally I think the 2 cent region is a good area, but anywhere from current prices, to be honest, I'm happy. I just bought some RSI the other day at 2.1 cent around here. I think I bought here before it shot up, and then it's obviously come back down, but I would be targeting buys from 2.1 cent down to 1.97 cent, and have some cheeky orders laddered all the way down, so maybe at 1.5, 1.4, 1.6, you know what I mean, whatever you fancy doing, just plot them plot them orders in all the way down, and you might be lucky and pick some up. If we do bounce from this region now and we start pushing up, then TP wise, if you're looking to take some profit short term or take some off the table, then you can look at 2.5 cent, and then we have his extensions at 2.7 and 2.9. 2.9 quite marries up well with this area here, where we did peak last time and then we rejected, so that could be the first major areas for us to get through. And then if you're moving further up, we have this region up here at 3.4 cent. You could say that it was mid-range, but then we absolutely died off and we've created new lows. So I'm not going to put any ranges on this because I think this is just very bearish looking. If we just look at this in terms of a trend line, I mean, trend lines can be subjective. You could have said we broke out of it there, but we've come back down. What you could say is that we've broken out of that downtrend, we're coming back to retest it, and then we could get the push to the upside. So that's a potential setup there. And we've broke out, we're coming back down to test it, and then we could potentially push on and target out range. So let's see what goes on there. I'll leave all that that mess on there and see which happens really. If you're getting orders filled down here, it might be good, but as long as we don't break below that trend line, I think things might be okay and keep us in a decent state. So that is the tether pair covered. Buy zones anywhere from 2.1 all the way down to 1.4, and TPs at 2.5, 2.7, and really 2.93 cent is the first major areas for us to break through. And we will just finish off with some Arisa BTC because stacking sats is king. And let's have a look at potential buys on this. So this is the Binance chart. Not a ton of data as you can see by the strange looking candles, but looking in a weekly, I think these red levels should be there, and that one is obsolete. So in terms of price, where we've been in the past, if we look at this in terms of a horizontal array there, we've been up to 273 sats. In terms of dumpage, we did a 79% drop, so not a million miles from what the USDT pairing did. We are coming down. I mean, the weekly does look absolutely horrific, dropping from that price there at 193 all the way down to this region here at around 59. So I'm just going to drop straight into the 4 hour here and have a look at some potential buys, because I think personally, if you're looking for orders, obviously you can see we use it as support there, support here. So that is the next area I would be looking for buys on this region at 59.60 sats. I think that's a solid region. Just be aware of, actually, let's have a look on the daily. If we're looking for buys, we do have this region here at 57, and we've got this region around here. If you look at this top wick, we acted as resistance and use it as support here. So that is a wick down at 47 satoshis. Nothing actually has to be fundamentally wrong with reserve rights in the BTC pair for it to drop. If Bitcoin starts going to pump and shoots past 35, 36, even up to 40 or 40 plus K, altcoins in Satoshi pairs usually die off, and this is when you can really start to grow your Bitcoin or grow your RSR holding by using Bitcoin. I'd have some orders down at 47 Satoshis, potentially to pick some up there if BTC does go on a run, but looking at this, we cannot ladder some down, maybe from 60 all the way down to potentially 40, because you know wicks can get nasty. So if it does go down there, I'll be throwing a truck at it in BTC. But yeah, buy zones down there. If we do flip round run, Bitcoin doesn't go on a run, the first area to target is this area here, 82 to 85 satoshis. That region there, I think, is the first major area for breakthrough. And then we've got this area too, around 113 sats. So 2 levels there to aim for, to take profit, to accumulate. But for me, I think things are looking slightly bearish from the BTC chart, and orders down at this range could have a good potential to get filled. So that's going to do it for today. Just some key levels there for you to look at targeting in both USDT and the BTC pairings. Accumulation is king, so if you manage to buy low, sell high, and keep repeating that process, long term, you're going to be onto a winner. So that's going to do it from me. If you are new to this channel, please make sure that you are subscribed, hit that like button, and I'll catch you next time.